Okay, I have been using the Huawei P50 for around a week or so, and this is actually a really great phone that I've been really impressed with, and I can't wait to tell you about it today, and we're gonna get into that, all the specs and everything. I'm really excited for this one. But let's start off with the unboxing. Let's rewind back to that, do the unboxing first, and then we'll go into the review. Alright. Hey, what is up? Mao here for Unbox Everything, and we're going to be unboxing the latest from Huawei, the Huawei P50. Now, this is the latest in their P series, which brings together two of the most important things for me, which is the aesthetic, how it looks, and the camera features. So we'll get into that, but start off with the unboxing. It just says here, Huawei P50. Just got the specs over here. This one is the 250 gigabytes of storage with 8 gigabytes of RAM. This is the Cocoa Gold color, which I do like, and it is dual SIM as well. And yeah, the front just got the normal name, and of course that kind of dual camera matrix that we'll see in just a bit. But let's open this up right now. Here we go. Okay, we got the phone right up front. Whoo! Okay, I'm not even gonna get into this yet. I just wanna. Wow. Quick preview. Okay, put this aside for now. Let's see what else we get inside the box. Of course, first we've got the SIM ejector tool over here. And of course, we got that free clear jelly case. Always great to see that included. Can protect your phone right from day one. And then we've got over here the charger, which is, well, we got the cable, USB Type A to Type C. And then we got the charging brick, and look at this. 66 watt Huawei Supercharge. That's a really great fast charger that you get right out of the box. Love that. And that's all you get inside the box. So let's get straight into the phone. So the first thing that I always look at with phones that always stands out to me, and it's exactly what the Huawei P series is all about, is the design, how it looks, and the aesthetic. And this one definitely passes the test for me. So it's got this really clean, shiny metallic look. And you can see it's got a few fingerprints if you put it in the light, but mostly it is fingerprint resistant, so I actually really like that. Like, only if you got really, I guess, oily hands, but look at that, really resistant to fingerprints, so that is something I really like about it, even though it still has that glossy metallic finish. Coming around the sides, we've got the power button over here, and we've got the volume rockers over here. On the top, we've got a speaker, the mic, and I believe another mic. And then at the bottom here, we've got another speaker. And then we've got the USB Type-C charging port, and then the SIM card tray, and one last mic. So really cool that you can see it's got a speaker at the top and a speaker at the bottom. So you get that stereo speakers when you're watching playing games or watching movies. You got the two speakers from both sides to get you that really great immersive audio experience with the dual speakers. So coming around to the front, just look at the bezels on this. So check out the bezels up front. It's just really, really thin on the sides. Everything is equal, even down to the chin. So I love that, where the bezels are equal all the way around. And these are some of the thinnest bezels that I have seen. And if you're wondering about it being a flat display or a curved display, it's a flat display, but it does kind of curve out at the edges. But I mean, the display is flat, but the glass part here on the sides is round. So it's not, I mean, well, I guess the sides are rounded, so it's not that boxy feeling when you hold it. So that's something that I love about it. You know, people either love the curved displays or hate them, and this one is a flat display. So if you're someone who likes flat displays, this is a great choice for you. The curved display is more on the Huawei P50 Pro, if that's what you're into. Personally, I love curved displays, but this one is flat, but I still like it because it does feel really good in the hands. That's another part that I like about it, is the way that it feels really ergonomic. It's not that sharp in the hand. It does feel really good when I hold it. The weight as well is really nice. And then, of course, up front, we also have the fingerprint scanner. So let me show you how quick that is. Just like that. So one more time, even from it being off, can just... And just like that, that's how quick it is. Let's try that one more time. There we go. Really, really quick. and responsive. But again, if you don't want that fingerprint scanner, there is of course the face unlock, which works as well. And yeah, it's a punch hole on the selfie camera, and it's pretty small. So yeah, overall the design really great, and the way that it looks up front. And with that, let's get now into the display. So here we go with the display. It's a beautiful 6.5-inch OLED display. So you can see when it's off, the blacks are really, really deep. You can see that here, even with that always on display kind of thing. So there you can really see the deep blacks, really contrasty, and yeah, I just love OLED panels. As for the scrolling, it is running at 90 hertz refresh rate, and some people, mostly people would want 120 hertz, like, the Pro models, but then this one at 90 hertz, actually, I don't feel a difference between 120 and this one at 90 hertz. Maybe if I use a device that's running at 60 hertz, I would feel it coming from a 120. But coming from a 120 down to something like this, that's a 90. 90 hertz still feels really snappy, really smooth, no delay. It really feels buttery smooth still. So I'd say it's nothing to worry about. 90 hertz is still really, really great. Like, I barely feel the difference between 120 and 90. Yeah, it's still really good. As for the touch sampling rate, it is a 300 hertz touch sampling rate, which means that it's really responsive. Once you click something, it responds right away, really quick, just like that. So yeah, really responsive, and I would say that that's one thing that I love about it, is the user experience feels really smooth, accurate, snappy, really good. And on top of that, it is IP68 water and dust resistant, so you can, rest assured that even when you use this working out or in, light rain, that it's gonna be okay. So already with the design and the display, it's something that I really like about it. Again, my top things when I choose a phone is the way that it looks and the screen that you're looking on, because that's what you're doing everything on your phone through that display. So it's got to be good, and this one gets a big check mark from me. Now going back to the battery. The battery, we saw that super fast charge, that Huawei Supercharge, 66 watts, wired charge, and that is really high speeds that can charge up the phone really quickly. So I'm a big fan of fast chargers. Of course, who wouldn't be? So you can know that this one does have a really good fast charge. And the battery comes in at 4,100 milliamps. So not the biggest capacity, but again, that fast charge really compensates for that. So if you're running low, just plug it in just for just a few minutes and you can get your juice back up really quickly. So that is great for the battery performance. Now, moving on to the OS and the overall user experience. And don't worry, we're going to get into the cameras in just a little bit. I know it's what you want to see, but that's the most that I, really reviewed and tested out on this, because that's something super important to me, and I'm sure important to you. We'll get into that in just a little bit, so just hold on, stay tuned. But first, let's talk about the OS and the user experience, because there's a lot of features here as well. So for the OS, it is running EMUI 12.1, which is based off of Android 12. So you can rest assured that it's running the latest Android system on under the Huawei's EMUI software. And it's got a bunch of features. Well, they're calling it a super device because it can do a lot of things, like the intelligent cross-device collaboration, and that's really cool. So if you have Huawei devices like a Huawei laptop, the phone, even a TV, you can be working seamlessly between everything, transferring things from your phone to your laptop, even to the TV and all of your devices really, really easily, and you can collaborate between all of them. So that's one new feature about this that's really good. And it's got things like interactive smart folders. And of course, if you're wondering about where to download your apps, of course, it's always something people ask when you talk about the OS and the system, is where do I download my apps? Well, it's got the Huawei app gallery, which you can download most of the apps that you use, everything, all the popular apps. A lot of them are there, but if you want, you can also use something they call Petal Search. Petal Search can get you even more apps. And now my favorite thing about Huawei devices is G-Space. So G-Space is an app that they have where you can actually see all of the apps you can get on the Google Play Store. So it means every app that you can think of, you can get it. You can actually enter the Google Play Store through G-Space and get all of your apps working perfectly. So I have things like Instagram, Facebook, Messenger, YouTube, the full YouTube app, the full Gmail app, Google Maps, Google Drive, all of that you can get right on G-Space. And it works really well. You can even pin them to the home screen. So like my YouTube is right here. and it just opens up the YouTube app really quickly. And yeah, so I'm in YouTube, and yeah, I'm in the full YouTube app right here on my Huawei device. So super easy, super quick. You can get all of the apps that you need, even your Google apps. So don't worry about that, and it's really cool. It's just one more step, but it works. Okay, now the part you've all been waiting for, which is these cameras. We're going to talk about the specs, the features, all of the numbers, and also showing you some of my samples. Let's get right into it. Here we go. There's the cameras and the camera module up close. So really nice. It's the dual matrix system. So up here we've got 3 different cameras. So it's a triple camera setup up here, and then down here there's another one. So up here we've got the 50 megapixel main wide sensor, which has a 1.8 aperture, and it's really good because that gets you, that really nice natural bokeh and background blur. Aside from the portrait mode, just the natural one, it's got that f1.8 aperture, so that's really good, 50 megapixel. And then we've got what I think is the most important lens, which is the ultra wide, and that's a 13 megapixel f2.2 ultra wide lens. And this one captures a lot. It's a really big, really wide sensor. Focus. Okay, it's a really big, really wide sensor, and I've tested it out, so you'll see those camera samples. This is a laser focus sensor, so that's not actually a camera, but it is a laser focus sensor, so you can focus on things super quickly. Just by tapping on it, it's going to focus really quick because of that kind of technology. And then over here is one of my favorite cameras as well. This is the periscope lens, so it's a zoom lens telephoto camera. This one is 12 megapixels, and it can get you 5 times zoom, and then the periscope can get you 10 times zoom, and using digital zoom it can get you times 50. So that means going all the way from the ultra wide, which is 0.6, what do you call that, times 0.6, all the way to times 50, so that is a range of times 80 within the focal length that you can get. So that is really great. Show you again the samples of that. So here, let's start out with, this is the ultra wide, so you can see just how wide that is. This is the ultra wide, and then times 1, times 5, and times, oh my gosh, times 10. And then that can optically zoom all the way to, oh gosh, times 50. There, focus. Okay, so you can see the focal length on that, which is really cool. And of course you got all your different modes, like the aperture mode, the night mode, and these are really cool because you can access the different focal lengths as well. So that's really cool. So the aperture mode, night mode, we got our portrait mode, of course, which I think looked really good when I tested it out. So that's the portrait mode. And then we've got the normal photo. We've got the video mode. These videos can record at 4K, so really great 4K, and you can even do time lapses in 4K. And then of course we got the Pro mode, where you can just dial in all of your settings however you want. And for the videos, it does have image stabilization, so that's really good to get your really steady shots even when you're walking or moving. You can capture things even while people are, walking around and there's a lot of action going on. Everything that super laser focus is going to help it capture moments like without blur or anything. So everything's going to be really crisp and clear with that laser focus plus that image stabilization. And it's even got more, and there's even more camera settings, different things, panoramas, all of that. You can pause this if you want to read what it has, but it is full of features. This camera is one of the most complete cameras, and I think it's really good. And of course, we got the selfie camera up here. This is a 13 megapixel selfie camera. I forgot to tell you, the telephoto and periscope is a 12 megapixel. And yeah, the front facing is a 13 megapixel. But one thing I love is that it has an ultra wide selfie camera mode. Let me show that to you. So this, there you are, that is the camera. That's the camera at normal, and here it is at ultra wide. Boom. So that is the ultra wide, and that is normal and ultra wide. So really cool. Here are some samples again of the wide versus ultra wide on the selfie camera.
iPhone X selfie camera versus Huawei P50 wide-angle selfie camera.
And that is a 100-degree wide camera on the selfie lens, and that is super cool. It's not something that you usually see, these wide-angle front-facing cameras, and it's done with just one camera. It doesn't have that two dual camera thing, but it can get 100 degrees ultra wide selfies, which is perfect for taking group photos together. And even if you just want, you know, a more complete shot, especially when you're vlogging, it's really helpful. But again, I think that this is one of the best Android camera phones right now. It's really versatile, really great focal length, and really great detailing and quality from the photos. So I am really impressed with this camera. And now I just want to mention a few more specs that you might want to know before we wrap this all up, like the processor. It's rocking a Snapdragon 888 4G octa-core processor, so note that it's 4G and not 5G, but that's still okay if you're okay with the 4G speeds. But that is what it's using for its processor. And again, it comes in at 8GB of RAM with 250GB of storage. And it comes in at two different colors. This is the Cocoa Gold, and it also comes in a black color. So that is everything that I've noticed and loved about this phone for the past week that I've been reviewing it and testing it out. And I think that it's a good choice. You'll just have to get over the part where you have the extra steps to get your Google apps, but they do work on this. And I would say that the best point of this is the way that it looks at this price point, and the cameras is the main selling point. Those cameras are really, really good. So if you're into photography, cinematography, vlogging, and want to do content creation, this might be a great camera to look at.
And as for the price, it comes in at 39,999 pesos.
So that is a competitive price for what it is. This price range, I'd say it's really good. And if you want to pick it up for yourself, I'll leave the links in the description. You can get it on Lazada, on Shopee, and also at their official Huawei online store. And that's been it for the Huawei P50. I hope this video helped you decide if you want to pick this up and if this could be the next phone for you. Let me know what you thought. Leave it in the comments below. I'd love to chat with you more about the Huawei P50. But that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And as always, I will see you back here next time as I continue to unbox everything. Shoo!